So in the last we have seen the describing function of each non-linearity like relay, dead zone, saturation, then the combination of relay and dead zone and dead zone with saturation. So we are going to see next we are going to see the describing function analysis. How we are going to analyze the describing function in nonlinear systems and how we are going to determine the stability using this describing function of nonlinearity. So the application of describing function is, first thing is we can use the describing function for the stability analysis in nonlinear systems. Then we can predict the sustained oscillations or limit cycles in the output of the system. So whether there is any oscillations or any sustained oscillations or a limit cycle, nothing but it is oscillations with fixed frequency and amplitude. Okay. So here we will see the block diagram of a unity feedback system with a non-linearity Kn and G of S, that is your system. So we have a non-linearity. So when you write the transfer function of this, so we'll write the transfer function C of j omega by R of j omega is equal to Kn G of j omega by 1 plus Kn G of j omega. Okay. So G by 1 plus dH, that form. Okay. So now the characteristic equation is nothing but equating your denominator to 0, you will get the characteristic equation. So from there we can say that 1 plus Kn G of j omega equal to 0. So according to the Nyquist stability criteria, the stability analysis of nonlinear system is said to be when Kn G of j omega is equal to minus. So from this equation you can write that Kn G of j omega equal to minus 1. So what does this equation say is that you have if you have Kn G of j omega locus or the plot passing through the critical point minus 1 plus j0 point, then there is sustained oscillations or limit cycles. Okay, so we are going to draw a plot for the nonlinearity, that is for different values of x. X is the amplitude of your input signal. So for different values of x, you'll be plotting your Kn, and different values of omega, you'll be plotting your G of S or G of j omega. Okay, so you'll be having two plots in this. One is Kn and second one is G of j omega. So when these two plot or the locus of these two plots passes through the critical point minus 1 plus j0. Okay, so j0 is not mentioned, which is Kn G of j omega equal to minus 1. So we are plotting this in a complex plane, so you will be always having minus 1 plus j0 point. Okay, so if this locus passes through the critical point, then we can say there is a oscillation or limit cycles occurring in the system, in the output of the system. So we are modifying the previous equation as previously we had Kn G of j omega equal to minus 1, right? So here we have G of j omega equal to minus 1 by Kn. Okay, so which implies that this equation, instead of passing through the point minus 1 plus j0, this minus 1 by Kn becomes the critical point or the critical locus. Okay, so the intersection of G of j omega and minus 1 by Kn locus will give you the amplitude and frequency of limit cycles. Okay, so we are just modifying that into a different form, that is instead of minus 1 as your critical point, you are considering minus 1 by Kn as our critical locus. Okay, so if the G of j omega plot and the minus 1 by Kn locus or the plot intersect, you can say there is occurrence of limit cycles, there is oscillations in the system, and the amplitude and frequency of the oscillations can also be found out. Okay, so that is what we are going to, that is analysis of nonlinear system using this describing function. So we can determine the stability of nonlinear system using this describing function of particular nonlinear element. So we have three conditions or three conclusions we have obtained. So first thing is you have to draw the two plots. One is minus 1 by Kn locus and G of j omega locus. And after drawing the two locus, you have to see to that whether it is enclosing, whether minus 1 by Kn is enclosing G of j omega, whether it is not enclosing G of j omega, and whether both the locus intersects. So based on that we can conclude the stability unstable or it is oscillatory system. Okay, so the first condition is if minus 1 by kn locus is not enclosed by g of j omega locus, you can say the system is stable. So if the system is stable, there is no limit cycles, that is there is no oscillations at steady state. Okay, so minus 1 by kn is not enclosed by g of j omega locus. So if it is enclosed, so the second condition is minus 1 by kn locus is enclosed by g of j omega, means you can say the system is unstable system. Okay, now the third one is if they intersect. If you have intersection, you can say it exhibits sustained oscillations or limit cycles. Okay, with fixed limit cycles are nothing but fixed amplitude and frequency. You have oscillations with fixed frequency and amplitude. Okay, so the amplitude of that oscillations and frequency you can find out. So amplitude is obtained by the value of minus 1 by kn locus at the intersection point. So what is the value both the plots are intersecting? If it is intersecting at minus 2.1 plus j0, minus 2.1 acts as your amplitude, and the frequency is obtained by equating the frequency of g of j omega, that is the angular part of g of j omega to the angular part of your intersection point, that is plus j0. So if you convert that into polar form, you will get it into at an angle minus 180. So when you equate the frequency of g of j omega, that is the phase of g of j omega, to minus 180, you can find out your frequency omega. Okay, so like that these three cases, from these three cases you can conclude whether the system stability, we can determine the stability, whether the system is stable, it is not stable, and it is oscillatory system. Okay, so next we have to move to the concept of enclosure. So we have already seen that if minus 1 by kn locus is not enclosed, it is stable. If it is enclosing, so what do you mean by this enclosure? How can you say that it is enclosing? So how will you find out whether this minus 1 by kn is enclosing or not? Okay, so we have to move, we have to see to the direction which we are moving. So if you see minus 1 by kn locus is said to be enclosed by g of j omega locus if it lies in the region right of the observer traveling through g of j omega locus in the direction of increasing omega. So that means if you see you have a locus, I'll draw a locus here. For example, you have a locus like this. Okay, so you have your minus 1 by kn is here. Okay, so this is your minus 1 by kn, and this is your g of j omega plot. Okay, so this is your increasing value of omega, that is we will be drawing g of j omega for different values of omega, right? So when your omega increases, your plot is moving like this. Okay, so that is why I have drawn the direction here. Okay, so this is the direction where you are moving your g of j omega, and this is your direction where you are moving your minus 1 by kn locus. Okay, so if you see you can say minus 1 by kn locus is enclosed if it lies to the right of the observer traveling through g of j omega. That is, suppose you are traveling like this, okay, so when it lies to the right, that is minus 1 by kn is to the right, so if it is this side, you can say it is enclosed. Okay, suppose you are traveling like this and your minus 1 by kn is to the left, it is said to be not enclosed. Clear? So not enclosed means if it is to the left, it is safe, it is not enclosed, whereas if it is to the right, you say it is enclosed. Okay, so here enclosure is you have to look into g of j omega locus, you have to move along the g of j omega locus, and if your minus 1 by kn locus is to the right, you can say it is enclosed, and if it is to the left, you can say it is not enclosed. So based on that, you can define your stability. Okay, so intersection is both are intersecting. Okay, then you can also say a stable region and unstable region. Okay, so that is when we travel in the increasing value of omega along g of j omega locus, region on the right side is unstable and region on the left side is stable. Okay, so when we move along through this g of j omega locus, the region on the right side, so this side is unstable region and this side is stable region. Okay. So this is a graphical representation which I told you in the previous slide. The enclosure, how we are enclosing minus 1 by kn locus. So when you look at the first figure, if you see, you have g of j omega locus and minus 1 by kn locus. So inside g of j omega you have minus 1 by kn. That means when you are moving along your increasing value of omega. So you look into the direction of omega. So that is your increasing value of omega. When you move along your g of j omega locus, if you see, your minus 1 by kn is towards your right hand side, and you can say it is enclosed. If it is towards the right, you can say it is enclosed, right? So if it is enclosing, what you say, it is an unstable system. Okay, so here when you look at the second figure, when you move along your g of j omega, your minus 1 by kn is towards your left side, which tells that your system is that is g of j omega is not enclosing minus 1 by kn locus. The system is stable system. Okay, so now we have intersection here. Here g of j omega locus and minus 1 by kn locus intersects. So limit cycles occurs and the system is oscillatory. Okay, so here we have given the regions which is stable and unstable region. So previously I told you, when you move along g of j omega locus, the region towards your right is an unstable region and left is your stable region. So that I have shown using different vertical lines show stable and horizontal lines shows unstable region. Okay, so I told you we have limit cycle when there is intersection, right? So we have two different types of intersection limit cycles. One is stable and unstable. So how can you say you have stable limit cycle and unstable limit cycle? Okay, so when you say it is stable and unstable, okay, so for that we have to see minus 1 by kn locus path, or the traveling path of minus 1 by kn locus. So the traveling, so if you look at this first picture, so this is your minus 1 by kn locus. Okay, so this is your g of j omega locus. This is your g of j omega, this is your minus 1 by kn. So if you see, we know that our right hand side of g of j omega is what? Unstable region. So this region is unstable and your left hand side is stable region. Clear? So now this intersection point is called as limit cycle. How can you say that it is unstable limit cycle? Okay, so now if you see x, the direction of x is like this, right? So when you, so initially it is in your what region? Stable region. Minus 1 by kn locus is in your stable region, and you are moving as your x increases, you are moving like this, and it enters into your unstable region. Okay, so when you enter into your unstable region only, you have limit cycle. So what region you enter? Okay, so after intersecting, what region you enter, so that region's name should be given to the limit cycle. Okay, so now we are entering into unstable region, so unstable limit cycle. So when you look at this portion, so this is your g of j omega and this is your minus 1 by kn, and the x direction, see, this is your x direction. Okay, so you'll be moving like this. Okay, you move like this, you move like this, you move like this. So you have two intersection point here, right? So now this is your starting point, right? So that is your, from your stable region you are moving into your unstable region. So this intersection point is called as what? Unstable limit cycle, because you are entering into an unstable region. Okay. Similarly, you are moving along, you are moving through this, and now you are coming out. Again, you are intersecting here. So what happens? You are coming from your stable region to the, sorry, you are coming from your unstable region to the stable region. Okay. So this is called as stable limit cycle. So after intersecting, which region you enter, so that name you have to give. Is that clear? Similarly here. So here if you see, you're traveling like this. Okay. So when you travel like this, this portion. Okay. So this is your right hand side when you travel, right? So this is your unstable, and left hand side is your stable region. Yeah. So when you travel along g of j omega, I told you, your right will be your unstable and your left will be stable region. Okay, so you have g of j omega minus 1 by kn locus going through this, that is, it is traveling along your unstable region, and entering into your stable. So this is called as stable limit cycle. And this point, it is already in your stable region, and after intersection goes into your unstable. So this is called unstable limit cycle. Clear? So this always they'll be asking for 5 marks. So you have to draw the figure clearly and you have to explain these 3 points. Clear? So now we'll move on to the problem. In this problem, you have a non-linearity. Saturation is a non-linearity, and G of j omega, which is equal to 1 by something. Okay. Now, what you have to find out is determine the maximum value of k for the system to stay stable, and what would be the frequency and the nature of limit cycle for a gain of k equal to 2.5. Okay. So actually here, what is the value of k you have to find out, right? Maximum value of k for which the system to stay stable, and what would be the frequency and nature of limit cycle for the system of gain k equal to 2.5. So what is the k here? So actually this should be your k. There's some printing mistake I think in the textbook. So this will be your k actually. Okay. So this k value, what is the maximum value you can vary so that your system is stable, and at 2.5 what is your frequency and nature. Nature means whether it is stable or unstable. Limit cycle you have to find out. Okay. So these 3 things you have to find out. One is you have to find maximum value of k for which the system is stable. Second one is frequency, and what is the nature. Okay. So now, first thing is you have to go into plot your g of j omega. I told you you are going to plot 2 plots, right? G of j omega plot and your minus 1 by kn plot. Okay. So first we will do the polar plot because already we have learned that polar plot, right? So first of all we are considering. So I told you have k here. So that is a printing mistake over there. So k is equal to 1. Okay. Substituting k is equal to 1 in g of j omega. So that is given in a question. So substitute k equal to 1. Now I have taken the magnitude and the phase. Okay, for this the magnitude is omega at an angle 90. Here root of 1 plus 0.25 omega square at an angle tan inverse 0.5 omega. Then root of 1 plus 16 omega square at an angle tan inverse 4 omega. Okay, so this is here. I am separating magnitude and angle. Okay. Now for different values of omega, so I have separated my omega values. So almost I am getting corner frequencies as 0.06. Okay, inverse of 0.25. Okay, so what is the inverse of 0.25 is actually 4, and 16 inverse will be 0.0625. Okay, so that is the corner frequency which I am getting. So corner frequency means inverse of 0.25, which is 4, and 16 inverse is 0.0625 something. Okay, so now I am considering my omega values between these ranges. So you can consider it between, I'm not going up to 4, you can go also up to 4, no problem. So considering from 0.06, right? So 0.1 or 0.2 you can take, or we have taken it from 0.4. 0.5, 0.6. So this is your assumption. Anyhow we can consider. Okay, 0.8, 1, 1.2 level. Okay, so I have substituted the omega values here. Find out magnitude and phase. Okay, or you can directly substitute here or find out your real and imaginary. Okay, so you can substitute your omega values either into this magnitude and phase, then convert that into rectangle real. Okay, or directly you can substitute in this. If you have in your complex form, you can substitute this. Omega is equal to substitute it as 0.4, substitute omega, then 0.4 I will get. So 1 plus 0.5 into 0.4 I. So when you substitute directly, you will get it as in your real and imaginary form you get. Okay, so you don't go for magnitude and phase, directly you can substitute in this. Okay, so we have completed this tabular column is being completed by substituting different values of omega, finding out your real and imaginary. Okay, we are going for k is equal to 2.5. So we are asked the question, for k is equal to 2.5, what will be your frequency and nature of limit cycle, right? So for that also you need what? G of j omega plot. So for that I am replacing my k by 2.5. Okay, so k is equal to 2.5 substituting and finding out my values. Okay, same thing I am doing consider. Here different values of 0.6 we have taken 0.65 because the values will be very small. Already we are getting 0.1 something j. Okay, so since it is very small, we are starting from 0.6, 0.657, 1.2. So next we'll see how to get the plot of minus 1 by kn. So in our question we have a saturation as a nonlinearity. So we must know the kn describing function kn of that particular nonlinearity. That is the last equation you must know for each and every nonlinearity, like relay you must know, dead zone and saturation, because these three are given in your syllabus. So these three you should know the final equation. Okay, so kn is equal to 1 for x less than s and 2k by pi beta 1 plus beta plus sine beta cos beta and angle 0 when x is greater than s. So this equation, this kn you must remember. Okay, so you know beta is given as sine inverse s by x. Okay, so that finally we'll substitute. So x is your maximum value of input signal. So varying this x only, you have to plot a minus 1 by kn locus. Okay, so we'll substitute k is equal to 1 and s is equal to 1. So k is equal to 1, already we have assumed k is equal to 1 initially. S is equal to 1 is given from your question. Okay, so now minus 1 by kn. So how will you get this minus 1 by kn is, so just inverse. Okay, so we know that we have angles like this, right? So this will be a 0 and this will be your 180. Okay, so plus or minus 180 will be here. Okay, and positive angles and negative angles is how we'll get this positive angles and negative angles. So when you move in the anti-clockwise direction, we say it is positive angles, and when we move in the clockwise directions, we say it is negative angles. So the moment makes the positive and negative angles, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. So we are moving naturally, we'll be moving the clockwise direction. So that means we are getting negative angles, 0, minus 90 and minus 180. Okay, so this is minus 180. So we are moving like this, right? So when we inverse, what you get? 0 when you inverse, you get minus 180. So that is what 1 at an angle minus 180 we write. Similarly, you inverse this and 0 degree when you inverse, you get again minus 180 because we are moving in the clockwise direction. So that alone you would just remember. So this is not required because it is little confusing, that is addition and multiplication of your how will you multiply your angles. So angles are added up and angles are subtracted, so that is not required. So you just remember this minus 1 by kn. So you must write your kn first, then minus 1 by kn is just you inverse. Okay, when that is everything will be 0 degree. Okay, I think all our thing is having 0 degree. So when you have 0 degree, when you inverse, you get it as minus 180 because you are moving in the clockwise direction. Simple. Okay, now s is replaced by s. Okay, sorry, s is replaced by 1. X less than 1, you have 1 at an angle minus 180, and x greater than 1, you have pi by 2 beta plus sine beta cos beta at an angle minus 180, right? So now what you have to do, you have to vary your value of x and you have to find out what is your minus 1 by kn. Okay, so we know that for x less than 1. So for whatever be the value x less than 1, you have some constant. That is, it is whatever be the value, if it is 0.5, 0.2, 0.1, whatever be your x value, you have 1 at an angle minus 180. That means minus 1 plus j0 point in rectangle form. So this is your polar form. So when we convert that into rectangle form, you get minus 1 plus j0. Okay, so that is your starting point. So whatever be the value x less than 1. So we know that minus 1 by kn plot is drawn by varying your x value. So for x value less than 1, you have a constant, that is 1 at an angle minus 180, which is your polar form. When we convert that into rectangle form, you get minus 1 plus j0. So minus 1 plus j0 is your starting point. Okay, because that is the value, whatever be the value of x less than 1, you get that value. Okay, so now when you substitute x greater than 1, So x greater than 1 means actually you have to replace beta equal to sine inverse 1 by x. Okay, so beta equal to 1 by x, this you have to replace beta values here. Okay, then you have to substitute x is equal to 2, 3, 4 like that and find out your value. So whatever value you find out, you will get some constant plus at an angle minus 180. Okay, so you get a constant at an angle minus 180 means since you have angle minus 180, it is nothing but minus that constant plus j0. Okay, minus 180 is nothing but your j0 value in your rectangle form. Okay, so always you have minus 180, right? So minus 180 means that is j0, and this when you substitute x value you will get some value, so that is negative value. Okay, so so negative value means your plot will be in the negative real axis. Is it clear? So if you substitute whatever be your x value, okay, whatever be your x value, suppose you have 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever be your x value, you will get some constant at an angle minus 180. Okay, you will be getting a constant, some value you will get at an angle minus 180. When you convert that into a rectangle form, you will get minus of that constant plus j0. Okay, suppose you get when you substitute x is equal to 2, you are getting some 1.5 or something. Okay, so 1.5 at an angle minus 180, when you convert that into a polar form, rectangle form, you get minus 1.5 plus j0. So minus 1.5 means you will have somewhere in your negative real axis. Similarly, you substitute x is equal to 3, you will get some value at an angle minus 180. So when you convert that into your rectangle form, you get minus of that constant value plus j0. So that is, it is along your negative real axis. So you need not substitute all these values. So for saturation, you have to find out your starting point. Okay, so for x less than 1, your starting point is 1 at an angle minus 180. So this is your 1 at an angle minus 180, and it will be moving along your entire negative real axis. So that is your minus 1 by kn plot. Saturation, your starting point alone you have to note down, then it will be moving along your entire negative real axis. Okay, so saturation nonlinearity is given in a question means you just find out your starting point. Okay, suppose you have x is, that is s value is given as 0.1 or something like that. So from there you have to start. It might start from minus 1 plus j0. Instead of that, it may start from 0.1 plus j0, something like that. So you must know only a starting point for saturation, and it should move along your negative real axis. Okay, so you need not plot your x values and substitute and find out all those things. Saturation is always starting point you have to find out. It is minus 1 plus j0 means it is minus 1 plus j0. Then you have to move along your negative real axis. Sometimes it may change to 0.1 or 0.2 like that. So that depends on your s value. Okay, s and k value, it will be varying. Okay, so this is our graph. In this you have two plots. One is g of j omega locus with k equal to 1, then minus 1 by kn locus, then g of j omega for k equal to 2.5 and minus 1 by kn locus. Okay, so the omega values, you see the omega values are 0.1, 0.5, 0.6 like that. So it is moving in this direction. Okay, so it is moving in this direction, and when you go through g of j omega locus with k equal to 1, your minus 1 by kn, this is your minus 1 by kn locus. It starts from minus 1 plus j0 point and moves along your entire negative real axis. Okay, so when you check the stability for g of j omega locus for k is equal to 1, if you see it is not intersecting, it is not enclosing, so it is stable system, right? When it is k equal to 2.5, you have some intersection, so oscillations are there. You have to find out the amplitude and frequency of that particular point. Okay, so intersection point is something minus 1.1 or something like that. So that will be your amplitude. Frequency you have to find out. Okay, so next you have to find out what is the minimum value of k, so up to which you can vary your k. At 2.5 it is intersecting, so it should be less than some value 2.3 or 2.1, so that it is not intersecting your minus 1 by k. Okay, so first of all you must find out at what point it is intersecting. So minus 1 plus j0 point is your critical point. So up to this only you can vary. So that intersecting points k value you have to find out. So at what k value your minus 1 by kn is being intersected. Okay, so that you have to find out, and your k value should be less than that value. Okay, so that I'll explain in this next slide. You'll see. So as I told you, for k is equal to 1, we have seen that g of j omega is not enclosing minus 1 by kn. So you can say the system is stable system. Then second case is you have to find out the maximum value of k for the stability of the system. So when can you say a system is stable? You should not cut your minus 1 by kn locus, or it should not enclose your minus 1 by kn locus. Okay. So you have seen your g of j omega is moving upwards when your k is increasing, because when k is equal to 1 and k is equal to 2.5 we have already drawn. So we can see that 2.5 is above your k is equal to 1 locus, right? So you can say when you vary your k, it is moving up. So you should find out the maximum value of k so that it is intersecting, it is cutting your minus 1 by kn locus. So that is the cutting point is minus 1 plus j0. So what is the value of k when it cuts minus 1 plus j0 point? Okay, so that is the limiting value. Okay, so what you are doing is that g of j omega crosses negative real axis at minus 1 plus j0 point. So that is your critical point. So this is your critical point. So at this point, what is your k value to find out? Then you should say that the k value should be less than this, so that your system will stay stable. Okay, so now what you are doing is, this is your minus 1 plus j0 is a critical point. So we are equating the magnitude of g of j omega to 1 and angle to minus 180. So when you convert this, you will get minus 1 plus 1 at an angle minus 180. Okay, so we have to equate your magnitude to 1 of g of j omega and angle to minus 180. So when you equate your angle, so we are replacing your frequency by omega L. Okay, that is your limiting value or the lower cutoff value. So this is your g of j omega angular part. We are equating it to minus 180. From this you have to find out, you have taken 90 to the other side. So you get tan inverse 0.5 omega L plus tan inverse 4 omega L is equal to 90. Then take tan on both the sides. So it becomes tan A plus B. So this is your tan A and B. So tan A plus B is equal to tan A plus tan B divided by 1 minus tan A into tan B. So that formula you have to apply. Tan 90 is infinity, we know. Okay, so infinity is nothing but 1 by 0. Okay, so we know that denominator part we are equating it to 0 because infinity means 1 by 0. So when you equate your denominator to 0, you will get omega L. Okay, similarly magnitude is equal to 1. From that you can find out a k value, because k is your maximum value to find out, right? So substituting your magnitude is equal to 1, and from that omega you have to substitute. Okay, replace your omega by omega L, then find out your k, which is 2.25. So you should say that system remains stable if your k is less than 2.25. So when your k is equal to 2.25, it is cutting your minus 1 plus j0 point. We should not cut your minus 1 plus j0 point. So you should say that your system remains stable only if k is less than 2.25. Okay. Now intersection point. So using the intersection point, you have to find out the frequency and nature. So frequency and nature means it is what a stable or unstable limit cycle. We are moving from the unstable region to the stable region. Okay, so if you look into the graph, you can find out minus 1 by kn locus is first initially in your what region? Unstable region. Okay, then it is moving out to the stable. So we can call that limit cycle as stable limit cycle. Okay, that point I've taken it as minus 1.11 plus j0. So that I've converted that into polar form. Okay, so now frequency, how will you find out? G of j omega's phase is equated to this phase. From that you find out your frequency. So that already previous thing we have already done, because there is no change in phase. only magnitude the k value changes. So the same value omega, you get 1 by root 2. Okay, so from this you can conclude for k is equal to 1 the system stays stable, and the system stays stable for the maximum value of k less than 2.25. So at 2 point k equal to 2.25, it is cutting your minus 1 by k. Okay, so it should be less than 2.25. So don't write k is equal to 2.25. It should be less than 2.25, because at 2.25 it is cutting your minus 1 by k. Clear? Then at k equal to 2.5, the limit cycle is stable limit cycle, and the frequency is 0.707. Okay, which is 1 by root 2. Okay, so this is one problem. So next problem is you have a nonlinearity as a relay. Okay, and g of s is also given. Okay, so we already know that you have to find out limit cycle, and what is the amplitude, and what is the frequency. Clear? So this already we know that k is equal to 4m by pi x at an angle 0 degree. M is equal to 10, which is given from the question. So this block diagram, I have to find 10. Substituting it, minus 1 by k, and we got just inverse at an angle minus 180. Right? Okay. So this is our inverse. We are inversed everything. So pi x by 40 at an angle minus 180. Okay. So when you put it in the j form, you have minus pi x by 40 plus j0. When you put it in the polar form, you get pi x by 40 at an angle minus 180. Okay. So now here you have to substitute different values of x. So x values you have to substitute, because there you don't have any x terms. So x values you have. Substitute x values, find out minus 1 by k, and you get some points. Okay, plot point. Then g of j omega also. G of j omega is a third order system. So we have 1 by j omega, 1 plus j omega, 2 j omega. Okay. In this also you have to values different values of omega. You substitute, find out a magnitude and phase. Okay. Or from this you have to find out your imaginary and real. Okay. So this is a graph of your relay as your nonlinearity here. So your minus 1 by kn starts from your origin. So this is your x, and it is starting from here, and this is your g of j omega, and it is intersecting at a point, and the amplitude and frequency of limit cycle is given. So this we call it a stable limit cycle, because our x is in the unstable region and moves towards your stable region. So it is called as stable limit cycle. Clear? Now how we got this amplitude and frequency, we'll see. Amplitude, it is just the cutting point. So if it is cutting at 2.12, it is 2.12. Okay. We have a small derivation here, and so we know that how will you find the frequency? Frequency, you have to equate your g of j omega angular part to minus 180. Okay. So as I told in the previous problem, same thing you have to take tan on both the sides, then apply tan A plus tan B form, then find out your frequency by equating the denominator to 0. Okay, which is 1.412. And the amplitude is nothing but it is the same thing, which is the intersection point. Okay. So with this your fifth module is over. So this problem we have with different nonlinearities, there is problems. So last question paper problem was your saturation point. Saturation was only the same problem which we worked out in the previous slides. That same problem was asked. Okay, so just do this, work out this, and see. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.